Woo! Oh, hi. Welcome back to the channel. Very, very exciting day today. Got to try and calm down. Relaxed breathing exercises. Got to calm my heart rate down, calm the heart rate down. It ain't working. Okay, why am I so excited? No, still excited. New bike day, new bike day. So 6 years ago, I took a test ride on a R1200 RT 2018 and absolutely loved it. Bought it on 3-year finance, loved every second of it. And just before the end of the 3-year finance, I traded it in, and I traded it in for another RT. In 2021, BMW had just released the brand new body shape with the blue plastics and the funky headlight and the massive IMAX cinema screen. And yeah, I loved that as well. I loved that, got that on another 3-year finance. And that was 3 years ago. So today is new bike day. The question is, what am I going to get? Talking about all that history has actually made me feel a little bit calmer, but now we're back up to date. New bike day. Oh, Jesus. Okay. I'm going to have to find some other way of burning off this nervous energy. Right, okay, that's that job done. Nah, that hasn't helped. Oh, nice bit of relaxing, watering the trees there. Nah, that's not helped. Oh, right, well, has washing the bike helped? No. Anywho, looks like it's almost about time to leave. I guess the next time I see you, I'll be heading out on the journey to the dealership. And that should happen round about... Okay, that was a crushing disappointment. Did all that preparation work? And then it pissed it down all afternoon. In any case, I got the lovely Lisa to give me a ride to the bike shop anyway. We had some other things we wanted to do on the way, so it wasn't just all about me. And the rain didn't stop. And we stopped and had a late pub lunch. And the rain didn't stop. And we got to the bike shop, and it was still pissing it down. So I got to pay for my new motorcycle. I just didn't get to ride it because basically I asked cheekily, is there any way they can deliver it? And they said, yeah, it might cost you a bit of a fee, but we can stick it in the van. How about Wednesday? I go, okay, Wednesday it is. So yeah, paid for the bike, and the lovely Lisa then gave me a lift all the way back home again. You have to remember, the car was all full of all the biking gear and stuff I was going to be wearing, and we got it all together in preparation, and yeah, didn't need any of that. And I had all of this spiel
that I was going to be spouting. I was going to record the drive over there and say, oh, I wonder what he could be replacing the RT with, and oh, what could it be, and what are the reasons, before obviously having to point out that, oh, hang on a second, if I was replacing the RT, why aren't I riding the RT? And of course the obvious answer is, well, I'm not replacing the RT. Yeah, finance ended and I paid it off. So the RT is now completely mine, and this is a second motorcycle. Why didn't I trade the RT in? Well, the only bike that can replace the RT is another RT. And BMW came out over the last couple of years and said, hey, guess what? We've developed a new 1300cc boxer engine which we'll be putting in the GS. Of course, you shouldn't correlate this with any of our other previous behaviour to make any predictions about what else we might be wanting to put that engine in. Definitely not, no. Just the GS. And I'm thinking, you know what's going to happen, I know what's going to happen, the dealership knows what's going to happen, BMW knows what's going to happen. I'm not going to trade in my 1250 RT, lovely blue sport model, for another 1250 RT, not quite so lovely blue sport model, because they've hidden the blue on the front with a fucking disgusting grey vinyl sticker or so. Why? Why, BMW? Why did you do that? Anywho, I'm not going to replace that bike. For 6 months down the line, BMW's go, surprise! 1300cc RT! Really? No. So I paid off the finance and I'm waiting for that 1300. Incidentally, the RT is still a fantastic bike. Absolutely fantastic. I'm very happy to now fully own it. So yes, this is a second bike, it's not a replacement for the RT. And why is it? I've never owned two bikes at the same time. So why? Well, early last year I think it was, my brother on the Sly Rider channel posed the question. All of you people who only have one motorcycle, what would you buy if you could have a second one? And at the time I thought, don't be ridiculous, I haven't got money for two motorcycles. I can't justify two motorcycles. And then I thought, well, let's live in the realm of fantasy, okay? Let's play along. It would have to be something that's completely different to the RT. And so what characterises the RT? Well, first of all, acres and acres of plastic, lots of wind protection. So a new bike is likely to have to be a naked bike. Tons and tons of luggage, because it's a touring bike, and so the new bike is one that would have to be for a different use than high-speed touring. And as I started narrowing down the possibilities, you know, I was really tempted by the Z900 RS. That looks a spectacular bike, absolutely gorgeous. And if I wanted something with a bit of, in quote, character, then I guess there's always, you're getting intimately familiar with the AA roadside assistance guy who's helping you back on the road because your Moto Guzzi broke down again. And obviously Triumph, there's Royal Enfield, there's a whole slew of naked bikes I could choose from, and I started to realise that there are some things that I don't really think I can do without. For instance, I do like a bit of power, I do like a bit of horsepower. I don't think a Royal Enfield is going to be for me. I'm not even sure that the Moto Guzzi is going to be for me. I'm also, when it comes to naked bikes, I'm a bit picky about the look. To me, a naked bike has to have the round headlights and the 2 clocks. I don't like the look of these naked bikes that have the funky shaped headlights, okay? To me, that looks like it's a bike that needs a fairing. It's almost like it was bought with a fairing and someone took the fairing off. I really don't like the look of those. When it comes to retro versus modern, I don't like the look of those rubber concertina things down the front forks. I think front forks need to look a little bit more modern than that. I'm not even a great fan of the twin shock arrangement at the rear. I would like a monoshock. And you know, so we're starting to see the number of perspective motorcycles whittle down pretty quickly now. So now we're down to, I think there's a single Triumph, which I think is the 400, that has a monoshock at the back. We got rid of all the Royal Enfields. I think we got rid of the Motor Guzzi. I think we got the Triumphs. So just, they've all gone, okay? And then I started to modify the answer to the question a little bit. Instead of being as different as possible to the RT, it became as different as possible to the RT as I can live with. And I started realising that I love cruise control. I want cruise control, and so straight away the Z900 RS I think is gone. I don't think you can get cruise control on that bike. And I don't want to be managing a chain. That's one thing I had with the old ZX6R, is I hate maintaining a chain. Oh God, it's such a... And having all the oil flick all over the rear wheel and the back of the bike, which you then have to clean off. And I'm sounding like a real moaning git now, aren't I? But really, I don't want to chain, which means belt or shaft. I don't know about belt. I mean, obviously there's Harley Davidson. I don't really see myself as a cruiser rider. Not really. I mean, I've watched enough Shade Tree Surgeon recently in the last few years to think, okay, I can see there's a reason why the people who like cruisers like cruisers. Okay, that's a thing. I still don't think it's for me. I remember a long time ago I had a neighbour who had a GPZ 305 Kawasaki, and that had a belt drive. Oh, that's a quirky kind of bike, but yeah, once again, I don't know if you can buy them anymore. But yeah, it doesn't have enough power for me. It's likely I'm going to want a shaft drive bike, and that's either the Motor Guzzi or this. And as I've already counted out the Motor Guzzi, a few weeks ago I went along to the BMW dealership to try this bike out, and I absolutely fell in love with it straight away. It's got that, I guess, more modern muscle bike look, even though they've managed to put some heritage stuff in the styling. It handles just so beautifully, it's so flickable. So for those of you who haven't already guessed, or haven't already noticed, this is a BMW R1290, and yes, it perfectly answers the question. What is it that's as different as possible from the RT that I can live with? And so far, I mean, I've only done a few hundred miles, or not even that maybe. I have to get used to the menus on this thing. 3C, tyre pressures, battery voltage, coolant level, average speed, 50 miles per gallon, minus 2 miles on the trip, minus 3 miles on the other trip. Total 225 miles. So I've done 225 miles on it, so I'm still running it in. I don't anticipate riding it any differently once it has been ridden in, to be honest. You know, I'm thinking that a naked bike, I know from riding the RT that once you get up to 70 or faster miles an hour, you start getting covered in flies, absolutely covered in them. Or at least the bike does. The bike gets covered in flies. Let's pull over here. Actually, this might be a really nice place. Does the road join up over there? I think it does. Let's ride round and come back around. So yeah, riding at 70 or faster miles an hour on this bike means I would get covered in flies. And I know there's lots of you who go, oh, welcome to motorcycling. Here we go. Let's pull over to a stop here. But I figured, yeah, I won't be riding fast on this bike. So I'm probably not going to be riding it any differently once it's running to before it's running. So I can probably just ignore the running in spec. The running in spec on the manual just says, yeah, just vary it up and down hills. Don't continue the same speed along dual carriageways for hours at a time. Vary the revs, vary the load on the engine, vary the gears, and that's riding around country lanes, isn't it? So that's what I'm going to be doing. Right now, however, I'm going to attempt to give you a walk around with this 360 camera. That's one of the other things about, obviously, the RT. It has lots of luggage space. I can carry tons of camera equipment, including my SLR, the SLR that I filmed the conservatory section a little earlier. Let's put it in first so it doesn't roll down the hill. Oh, that'll be 5 o'clock. I hope it doesn't strike 17 bells. That would be funny, wouldn't it? So yeah, let's get off the bike and give you a walk around. Oh yes, so I haven't brought my my SLR camera with me because it's a bit of a weight, and this backpack doesn't have any pockets in it, and everything collects at the bottom. Also, I didn't bring my other microphone kit, so I'm going to be keeping my crash out on while I do this. So you're going to have to be dealing with the low resolution of the 360 camera and the slightly crappy audio in my crash out. Let's give you a walk around. So here we have my R12 9T, and I think this is one of my favourite camera angles to look at it. It does look spectacular. BMW have done a magnificent job, and yes, you can see the Boxer engine there sticking out. Looks a bit weird. I think it looks full of character. I think that's the word we're looking for. Yeah. So I'm getting my little thing of people looking at me weirdly. Here's something that I really, really love. Those twin exhausts. Those twin exhausts look spectacular, don't they? We look at the clocks. They do look absolutely lovely. As I said, you know, the round headlight and twin clock thing, that's what a naked motorcycle should look like. And I have the lovely modern forks and the lovely modern brakes. We've got the lovely modern rear end with the single shock, partially of course because it's a shaft drive. I love the way this looks. Now this is the single seat version. Well, I say the single seat version, it actually comes, if you buy this as an option, it replaces the seat, so you get the rear seat as well. You can take this off and put the rear seat on. And yes, the connected app, when it connects, works with this. So I bought the little phone cradle option, which gives you the whizzy wheel. So the perfect balance of retro and modern. I absolutely love it. I guess now we can show you the famous BMW Boxer torque reaction when you start the motor up. This is something that doesn't actually happen particularly on the RT. The RT is a very smooth engine for that. I have a feeling that BMW have deliberately put this back as a show of the character of the bike. You have to hold the button down, and maybe you need to turn the bike off and on again. Okay, will it not start with the side stand down? Okay, clutch in. Oh, because it's in first. What a numpty. I put it in first so it wouldn't ride down the hill. So yes, get ready for the torque reaction. There we go. I don't know how well that came across on the 360 camera. I can use the whizzy wheel, you probably can't see this, to zoom the map out. And of course it wants to take me to the M11. I won't be going that way, that would be a ridiculous way to go. You can actually choose different windiness routes, but it suffers from the same problem that most of these SatNavs do, is that it has a different idea of what windy is to you, and so sometimes it takes you down stupid gravel roads and stuff like that. Sometimes it takes you off the main road to bring you back onto the main road, driving around the houses simply because, hey, there's a little loop you can go around, which is totally boring, 30-mile-an-hour rubbish. So, yeah, when I plot my routes, I generally tend to put waypoints in, the actual places I want to make sure I go through. Maybe I should go around the other way. It could be a car screaming around here at Warp 5. Okay, we're out. I know vaguely that this is the way to go for a country road because this is the way I came. Don't ride through the horse shit. I'll tell you something about this bike and maybe getting back on a bike like this. Well, I'd say back on a bike like this. The only other bike I've ever ridden that's like this that I've owned was my original KH125 sit up and beg learner bike. That was the only other naked bike I've ever owned, so perhaps saying getting back on a bike like this is a little bit disingenuous. But getting on a bike like this does make me appreciate what some of the other YouTubers have been saying for some time, those who, especially those who ride the Royal Enfields. Which is, what do you need a fast bike for? There's plenty of character, there's plenty to enjoy about motorcycling. And although I don't completely agree, I think you do need speed. I think you do sometimes need to ride at ludicrous speed. On the fast twisty main roads and dual carriageways and fast A roads and stuff like that. There absolutely is an aspect of motorcycling which, if you can't welly the throttle, you are kind of missing out on. But yes, this bike brings home the joys of slightly slower speed riding. So yes, there we go, Mr. Slow Rider. Answer to your question. Someone who only has one bike, what do they buy as a second bike? The answer is the R1290, quite obviously. Yes, I absolutely love it. Now, I did wonder, is it just the novelty? Do I like this bike more than I like the RT? Well, I rode the RT yesterday. I took it down to my favourite localish bike shop slash cafe in Stevenage called Bike Stop, and had a lovely cup of tea and cake. And I still love the RT. See, some people just can't fucking drive. Yes, the RT on that trip to Stevenage was sublime. I took it on some country roads, I took it on a couple of fast roads. Oh, yeah, I love the RT, although, because I've been riding this exclusively for the last week or so, the first time it came to rocking the RT off its side stand, holy f***, is that a heavy bike? I'd forgotten. Oh, Jesus. Riding around on this thing is, what, 220 kilos? The RT is 280. Oh my God. Yeah, that's different. That is noticeable. But it's still a fantastic bike. And the only bike to replace an RT is another RT. It is going to be interesting when BMW put that 1300cc in the RT, exactly what it's going to be like, because I note with interest the detractors of the new 1300GS. BMW seem to have alienated a particular demographic of motorcyclists. There are people who absolutely love what the 1250 GS is and don't want it to be a multistrada. Yeah, they don't want it to be a lighter adventure bike. They want it to be the GS. So it's going to be interesting to see what BMW do with the RT, to see if it is different enough from the existing bike to make me not want one. We'll have to see. I'm expecting to not hear anything about that for several months now. In the meantime, I shall continue enjoying my 1250 RT. I shall definitely continue enjoying this, because this bike is just such fun. In fact, I'm soon going to be hitting the home stretch, and I'm thinking maybe I should stay out a bit longer, because I'm having a whale of a time on this. Okay, I'm not ready to go home at all. I'm not ready to go home at all. Thanks everyone for watching. If you liked the video, please click the thumbs up like button. If you genuinely and generally like the content on the channel, please consider subscribing. Let's do a sharp left-hander here. Ride safe, and I'll see you next time.